The use of a recessed lighting fixture with a damp or wet lens in a shower is not recommended. Electrical codes specifically prohibit the use of lighting fixtures that are not specifically rated for wet or damp locations, such as those UL listed for wet locations. Using a non-rated fixture in a shower creates a serious safety hazard due to moisture and potential water contact. This can lead to electrical shock, fire, or damage to the fixture. The lighting manufacturer explicitly states that their fixtures are not suitable for wet or damp locations. Shower-rated recessed lights are constructed differently to withstand the moisture and humidity of a bathroom environment. Firstly, shower-rated lights typically use a watertight screw shell to prevent moisture from entering the electrical connection. Secondly, they have gasketed lenses and trims to seal out moisture and prevent water penetration. Thirdly, the housing may be made of corrosion-resistant materials or designed with drainage holes to prevent moisture build-up. These lights are specifically UL listed for wet locations and meet the safety requirements for bathroom installations. To ensure safety and code compliance, only use recessed lighting fixtures that are specifically rated for wet locations in a shower. Contact a licensed electrician for professional installation to ensure proper wiring and fixture selection. To delve deeper into the specifics of shower-rated recessed lighting, let's consider several key aspects. First, understand the fundamental difference between dry, damp, and wet location ratings. A dry location is an area not normally subject to dampness. A damp location is an area normally protected from weather and not subject to saturation with water or other liquids but subject to moderate degrees of moisture. And a wet location is an area subject to saturation with water or other liquids, such as a shower or tub area. The National Electrical Code, (ONEC), provides detailed guidelines for electrical installations in various locations, emphasizing safety and compliance. For wet locations, the NEC mandates the use of fixtures specifically designed and listed for such environments. These fixtures undergo rigorous testing to ensure they can withstand exposure to water and humidity without posing a risk of electrical shock or fire. The Underwriters Laboratories, or UL, is a widely recognized organization that tests and certifies an electrical product. A UL listing indicates that a product has met specific safety standards and has been evaluated for its intended use. When selecting recessed lighting for a shower, look for the UL wet location listing mark on the fixture. This mark assures that the fixture has been designed and tested to withstand the harsh conditions of a shower environment. Now, let's discuss the construction differences between shower-rated and non-shower-rated recessed lights. The screw shell, which houses the bulb, is a critical component in preventing moisture from entering the electrical connections. In shower-rated lights, the screw shell is typically watertight, meaning it is sealed to prevent water from seeping in. This is achieved through the use of special materials and construction techniques that create a barrier against moisture. Gaskets play a crucial role in sealing out moisture and preventing water penetration. Shower-rated lights have gasketed lenses and trims, which create a tight seal between the lens, trim, and housing. These gaskets are typically made of rubber or silicone, which are water-resistant materials that can withstand the constant exposure to moisture in a shower environment. The housing of a recessed light is the main body that contains the electrical components. In shower-rated lights, the housing may be made of corrosion-resistant materials such as stainless steel or aluminum to prevent rust and degradation. Additionally, the housing may be designed with drainage holes to allow any moisture that does enter to escape, preventing it from building up and causing damage. It's important to note that simply adding a wet-rated lens to a non-wet-rated fixture does not make it suitable for a shower. The entire fixture must be designed and tested to withstand the conditions of a wet location. The lens is just one component of the overall system, and it cannot compensate for deficiencies in other areas. Moreover, the wiring within a shower-rated recessed light is typically insulated with materials that are resistant to moisture and heat. This helps to prevent corrosion and degradation of the wiring, ensuring that it can safely carry electricity in a damp environment. The connections between the wires and the fixture are also sealed to prevent moisture from entering and causing shorts or other electrical problems. When installing recessed lighting in a shower, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable electrical codes. This includes using the correct wiring methods, grounding the fixture properly, and ensuring that all connections are tight and secure. It's also important to use a qualified electrician who is familiar with the requirements for installing electrical equipment in wet locations. In addition to the safety concerns, using non-rated fixtures in a shower can also lead to code violations. Building codes are designed to protect the health and safety of occupants, and they include specific requirements for electrical installations in wet locations. Violating these codes can result in fines, penalties, and even the removal of the non-compliant fixtures. Furthermore, using non-rated fixtures can void your homeowner's insurance policy. If a fire or electrical shock occurs due to the use of non-compliant fixtures, your insurance company may deny coverage, leaving you responsible for all the costs associated with the damage. To avoid these risks, it's always best to use recessed lighting fixtures that are specifically rated for wet locations in a shower. These fixtures have been designed and tested to withstand the harsh conditions of a shower environment, and they meet all applicable safety standards and building codes. When selecting shower-rated recessed lighting, consider the style and design of the fixture. There are many different types of shower-rated recessed lights available, ranging from simple, functional designs to more decorative options. Choose a fixture that complements the overall look of your bathroom and provides the desired level of illumination. It's also important to consider the size and shape of the shower area when selecting recessed lighting. A small shower may only require 1 or 2 fixtures, while a larger shower may require more. Position the fixtures strategically to provide even illumination throughout the shower area and to avoid creating shadows or glare. In addition to recessed lighting, other types of lighting can also be used in a shower, such as surface-mounted fixtures or pendant lights. However, these fixtures must also be rated for wet locations and installed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Regardless of the type of lighting you choose, it's essential to ensure that it is properly installed and maintained. Regularly inspect the fixtures for any signs of damage or corrosion, and replace any damaged components immediately. Also, be sure to clean the fixtures regularly to remove any buildup of soap scum or mineral deposits, which can affect their performance and appearance. Remember, electrical safety is paramount, especially in wet environments like showers. Always prioritize safety and compliance when selecting and installing lighting fixtures, and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Let's further discuss the importance of UL listing and what it signifies for electrical products used in wet locations. UL, or Underwriters Laboratories, is a non-profit organization that provides safety testing and certification for a wide range of products, including electrical equipment. A UL listing mark on a product indicates that it has been tested and evaluated to meet specific safety standards. For recessed lighting fixtures intended for use in wet locations, such as showers, the UL listing ensures that the fixture has been designed and constructed to withstand the harsh conditions of a wet environment without posing a risk of electrical shock or fire. The UL testing process for wet location recessed lighting involves a series of rigorous tests to evaluate the fixture's ability to resist water penetration, corrosion, and other hazards. These tests may include exposing the fixture to simulated rain, humidity, and temperature extremes to ensure that it can maintain its safety and performance over time. When selecting recessed lighting for a shower, it's essential to look for the UL wet location listing mark on the fixture. This mark is typically located on the fixture's housing or packaging and indicates that it has been certified for use in wet environments. Be wary of products that claim to meet UL standards but do not bear the official UL listing mark. These products may not have undergone the same rigorous testing and evaluation as UL listed products, and they may not provide the same level of safety. In addition to UL listing, other safety certifications may also be relevant for recessed lighting fixtures used in showers. For example, some fixtures may be certified by the Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, which is another reputable organization that provides safety testing and certification for electrical product. When selecting recessed lighting, it's always best to choose products that have been certified by a recognized organization such as UL or CSA. These certifications provide assurance that the product has been tested and evaluated to meet specific safety standards and that it is safe for its intended use. Now let's delve deeper into the specific requirements for wet location recessed lighting as outlined in the National Electrical Code, or NEC. The NEC is a widely adopted set of standards for electrical installations in the United States. It provides detailed guidelines for the safe and proper installation of electrical equipment in various locations, including wet locations. The NEC defines a wet location as an area subject to saturation with water or other liquids such as a shower or tub area. It specifies that electrical equipment installed in wet locations must be specifically designed and listed for such environments. This means that recessed lighting fixtures installed in showers must be UL listed for wet locations and must meet all other applicable requirements of the NEC. The NEC also provides specific requirements for the wiring methods used in wet locations. For example, it typically requires the use of waterproof wiring and connectors to prevent moisture from entering the electrical system. It also requires that all electrical connections be made in a junction box that is listed for wet locations. In addition to the general requirements for wet locations, the NEC also provides specific requirements for recessed lighting fixtures installed in showers. For example, it requires that the fixture be installed in such a way that water cannot accumulate on or around the fixture. It also requires that the fixture be grounded properly to prevent electrical shock. When installing recessed lighting in a shower, it's essential to follow all applicable requirements of the NEC. This will help to ensure that the installation is safe and code compliant, and that it will not pose a risk of electrical shock or fire. It's also important to consult with a qualified electrician who is familiar with the requirements of the NEC. A qualified electrician can help you to select the right fixtures and wiring methods for your shower, and they can ensure that the installation is done safely and correctly. Let's discuss the practical aspects of selecting and installing recessed lighting in a shower. Before you begin, it's important to assess the size and layout of your shower area. This will help you to determine the number of fixtures you need and the best locations for them. In general, it's best to space the fixtures evenly throughout the shower area to provide uniform illumination. You may also want to consider installing a separate fixture directly over the shower head to provide additional lighting for showering. When selecting recessed lighting fixtures for your shower, be sure to choose fixtures that are specifically rated for wet locations. Look for the UL wet location listing mark on the fixture, and be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Choose fixtures that are made of corrosion-resistant materials, such as stainless steel or aluminum. These materials will help to prevent rust and degradation in the damp environment of a shower. Select fixtures that have gasketed lenses and trims to seal out moisture and prevent water penetration. This will help to protect the electrical components of the fixture and prevent electrical shock. Choose fixtures that have a wattage rating that is appropriate for the size of your shower area. A general rule of thumb is to use a total of 50 to 75 watts of lighting per square foot of shower area. When installing recessed lighting in your shower, be sure to follow all applicable electrical codes and manufacturer's instructions. Turn off the power to the circuit before you begin any electrical work. Use waterproof wiring and connectors to prevent moisture from entering the electrical system. Make all electrical connections in a junction box that is listed for wet locations. Ground the fixture properly to prevent electrical shock. Install the fixture in such a way that water cannot accumulate on or around it. After the installation is complete, test the fixture to make sure that it is working properly. Check for any signs of leaks or moisture buildup. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to install the recessed lighting in your shower. A qualified electrician can ensure that the installation is done safely and correctly, and that it meets all applicable codes and regulations. In addition to the technical aspects of selecting and installing recessed lighting in a shower, it's also important to consider the aesthetic aspects. Choose fixtures that complement the overall style of your bathroom and provide the desired level of illumination. Consider using dimmable fixtures to create a more relaxing and inviting atmosphere in your shower. Experiment with different types of bulbs to find the right color, temperature, and brightness for your needs. With careful planning and execution, you can create a shower lighting system that is both safe and beautiful. Always prioritize safety and compliance when selecting and installing lighting fixtures in your shower. Consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your shower lighting system is both safe and functional for years to come. It's also beneficial to know some common misconceptions about using lighting in showers. Firstly, that any light with a glass cover can be used in a shower. This is false. The glass cover must be part of a fixture listed for wet locations with appropriate gaskets in construction. Secondly, that low voltage lighting is inherently safe in a shower. While low voltage reduces shock risk, the fixture still needs a wet location listing to ensure proper protection against moisture. Thirdly, that a GFCI outlet protects against all risks. While a GFCI outlet is crucial, it doesn't replace the need for a wet-rated fixture. The fixture's construction must prevent water from reaching electrical components. Fourthly, that you can just cook around a standard fixture to make it safe. Caulking is not a substitute for a wet location listing. It won't provide adequate protection against moisture intrusion over time. Fifthly, that if the light is high up enough, it's safe. Height doesn't matter. If the location is subject to moisture, a wet-rated fixture is required. Sixthly, that if you have a plastic shower enclosure, you don't need a wet-rated fixture. The enclosure doesn't negate the need for a wet-rated fixture. Moisture can still be present. Seventhly, that LED lights don't get hot, so it doesn't matter. While LED run cooler, the fixture still needs a wet location listing for moisture protection. Eighthly, that if you install it yourself, you can save money and it's okay to cut corners. Electrical work, especially in wet locations, requires expertise. Hire a qualified electrician. Ninthly, that if you have a small shower, it doesn't matter as much. Size doesn't matter. If it's a wet location, a wet-rated fixture is required. Tenthly, that you can use a fixture from another country as long as it looks similar. Electrical standards vary. Only use fixtures listed by a recognized organization like UL or CSA. Always refer to a qualified electrician for installation and to ensure all codes and regulations are followed.